What's going on, everybody? It's Elijah. I'm doing something a little bit different now. I started recording. I'm going to start using my webcam, so I apologize if it unfocuses and focuses a lot, especially if I'm watching TikToks or something. My phone will unfocus, but if you guys have not yet, make sure you guys hit that sub button. We are so close to 3,000 subscribers, so if you guys have not yet, make sure you guys hit that sub button. At 3,000 subscribers, I'm going to prestige an AOTR, which is low-key going to kind of screw me over because I'm going to be going back to level 1. I'm going to have to regrind everything. If you guys have not yet, make sure you guys actually go follow my Twitch. I actually been trying to stream a little bit more on Twitch. We're almost at 400 followers on Twitch. It's all in the description down below, so when you guys click on my video and stuff like that, you guys go to the description, you will see right here these little bubbles says Twitch. Go check it out and stuff like that. I am fully going to be streaming on Twitch, but today I'm doing something a little bit different. On AOTR itself, I'm actually going to be showcasing my actual female Titan build and the builds that I use for my Titan shifter. So this is kind of like shifter build, and you can use this in 2 different ways if you want. Mainly use female Titan, been using armored Titan to run raids and stuff like that. So this is a little bit different for me. So let's get into the build. I'll showcase it to you guys and how it performs and how it does. This is all a little bit different as well because I'm actually recording this live, which I don't usually ever do. Usually I record a gameplay and then I do a voiceover and edit all that behind. So it's a little bit different for me. So I apologize if there's any mistakes because this is all currently live. What I'm doing on screen and now is what you guys are seeing live. But we're going to start off with my prestige on the memories that I use. Like I said, I'm prestige 3. So for memories, I use apotheosis, which fills up my awakening bar a lot faster. I can shift a lot faster as well at 60% instead of actually having to fill my bar up almost all the way. Other than that, I actually use Fury Forge as well, which increases my damage by 0.4% for every bit of health that I lose, because a lot of times when I'm taking damage, I lose health. And then I use Quake Strike. Quake Strike, each kill increases damage by 1.5%. This helps out a lot. If I'm not mistaken, I think Fury Forge and Quake Strike does work when I'm in shifter form as well. In my storage, I do have Flash Step, so when I do prestige to prestige 4, I'll be able to use this, but this is 100% what I use actually on this. Like I said, if you guys want to see me go to prestige 4, make sure you guys hit that sub button. So for my perks, these are the perks that I'm using. For my actual offense slot, I'm using Art of War. I mean, you could technically throw on Black Flash if you want. For every M1 it's speed, it gives you like speed for the crit damage. It helps with crit builds and stuff like that. I use Art of War because I use actual other support perks and stuff like that. So for instance, I use Adaptation. You can use Immortal if you want to. I just use Adaptation because it's a little bit better for me when I'm taking damage. When I get hit by, like, say for instance, a wind up punch or a lightning punch from the armored Titan raid, it's a lot easier for me to actually just be able to not take any more damage, especially with screaming, because the screaming gets annoying over time. After Adaptation, I use Soul Feed, which actually increases my gas bar. My health is increased, and you can see the outlines of all Titans. So when I'm actually doing other missions, or like if I'm grinding, like say guard missions and stuff like that, I can see where they're coming from a lot easier. A lot easier for me because this was helpful for before I prestige. You technically don't have to use Soul Feed. Like I say, you can throw in other stuff. You can use Font of Inspiration. I use Soul Feed because that's what I prefer, because I can see the Titan outline. For my third one, I actually use Font of Inspiration. I butchered that name there. Like I said, you can use other things. I use this Font of Inspiration. It pretty much helps with the flare. Pretty much cooldowns have, so like if for instance when your orders and flares have their cooldowns halved and their effects multiplied by 1.50%, I use a flare when I'm actually doing, because it helps buff my teammate. And like it says, your orders can now be used midair. And damage resistance, which just actually helps with taking less damage, so it helps by increases by 30% of affected by your orders. And then I use Founder's Blessing to be able to shift 3 more times. You could technically not have to use Founder's Blessing because you can technically say, but I do it for the awakening bar. You don't have to use this, especially I use it mainly just because the fact that I like to be able to have the extra shifts, especially when I was freshly prestige, or when I work on a new shifter bar and stuff like that, or I work on a new shifter thing. I'm not going to have shifter for as long, so it helps out. You could technically throw on, like say for instance, Aaron's jacket and get more shifts and stuff like that. You could do that if you want, but this is just technically what I use. Moving on from the perks, here's the artifacts that I use. So the artifacts, I pretty much use shifter scars with shifter damage. I try to get as much as I can on the shifter damage. Sometimes I reroll these, but I felt like I got pretty good rolls on this, so I kept it. Like I said, I use scars, increases shift, and it increases my shifter stat, and it makes your awakening bar drain a lot slower, but I mainly do it for the shifter damage. And then I use the scarf, and the scarf is mainly using shifter damage as well. Like I said, you could technically throw on the cloak and get another shift from this, but it increases your aggro range. That's the only trade-off. But like I said, I use the scarf. It increases with me, and it, like I said, hook speed, dash cooldown. I don't use rage mode because I don't use Ackerman or anything like that. So for my female mastery, I do not use eject. I never use it. I use hardening ability. I use the grapple ability, and I pretty much, I'm trying to find the other ones. The scream is what it is. Shriek, sidekick use, and roundhouse kick use. Pretty much I use everything here besides eject. So if you guys don't know, the family I'm using right now is Fritz, because Fritz does the same thing as the female Titans. Like for instance, the Leonhart's family. Leonhart is one of the best families that you can get for female Titan because it helps with Crimson Bloom. Before the Fritz family, I was using that other family, the legendary one, so that I can actually do, or it's purple, my bad, purple family, because it helped with the female Titan because of the Crimson Bloom. You could use that. I just use the Fritz because I like it a little bit better, especially because I have the ability where I can just, right ability and kill every Titan around me. All right, so for skills for the skill tree, I go down the crit skill path. So as you're going down leveling up, you're going to hit on, so the only one I went on right side is this left side on the conservative and stuff like that, which is, I believe, the support path. I went the right side for the acoustic shells. I went for right side on the middle, and then on the right side, I went on left, which is health, damage, and conserve. Like I said, I mainly do a crit build and stuff like that. You could technically do damage build if you want. I just think that the female Titan works better with crit. And I'll go ahead and load into a attack Titan aberrant raid with modifiers and stuff like that, so you guys can see how well this actual does. I don't think that was a word or anything like that. Also, like I said, there is technically other better builds out there and stuff like this, but this is the build that I use. There is other ones that you can technically do these raids faster, but this is the one that I've been using for months now, and that helps me out with the raids and stuff like that. All right, time to shift. All right, now as you can see, we're finishing up on the final side, which we'll go ahead and just crush him. Why not? And this is the damage we're going to be outputting while fighting Aaron. You can technically lead him out the wall if you want to. Too much work for me. I like getting the extra Titan kills for the streak, so why not? As you can see, when my hands are glowing red too, I double the damage, so it helps out a lot more. And as you can see, we're stacking up tons of damage. We already got him in his second form, which is a lot fast. I mean, you can stick to him M1. You don't really have to use your abilities, but I like to use my abilities. It's a little bit more fun for me. All right, as you can see, completely finished the quests. Our quest that raid's completely done, and after all of that we did, just pretty much hugging him and stuff like that, we completed the raid 2 minutes 40 seconds with 52 million damage. Works for me. I mean, I like it. It's pretty easy. You could solo a lot of things with oddball and most of all the modifiers on. If you enjoyed this video, if you guys have not yet, make sure you guys hit that sub button. I really highly appreciate all of you guys who took the time out of your guys' day to watch this video. Other than that, I will see you guys in the next one. Like I said, my shifter might not be the best, but at the same time, it can solo, it could do the most, so I do enjoy it. If you guys want to see another build, feel free to let me know in the future down below. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the future.